Hi, this is Ernie. I'm the guy who had $6 in his checking account to now having millions of dollars. I'm going to show you what my top stock pick is for this year and how much it could potentially go. And when you look at this piece of information, you're going to be saying, hey, how come I didn't know about this? So let me show you what I'm looking at so that you'll be able to understand why I'm making a big bet on this particular ETF. You guys already know this. This is SOXL that I showcased early last year, and I made, 7x return. Unfortunately, I exited thinking the AI bubble wasn't going to burst because I felt that once it reaches this level, that it's going to come back down. But guess what? It ended up going all the way up to $300. It went parabolic. Everybody on Wall Street, almost everybody that I talk to, they think it's overvalued. It just went up too high, too fast. And since then, it came down about 50%, now trading around $140. I still believe this can come down even more. So there are two ways to play this. One, you have a put position, and it's actually quite expensive. The other way is you invest in something called SOXS. SOXS XS is a bearish band. It recently went through reverse split, so the price is a little bit higher than usual. But I'm going to share something quite interesting. So let's look at price of 48 different strikes. You're going to realize, look at the premium. It's massive. Why is it massive compared to, so let's go, let's say $10 above. You have to pay $2.50 versus if you go $12 below or $10 below, you don't have to pay as much, right? What you also see is if you scroll to the right, this is open interest for calls and open interest for puts. Look at the amount of people think SOXS is going to go down from here. Yeah, there are a decent amount of open interest, right? So there's a 500 at 45. This is all expiring this week. There's some at 47. There's some at 50. I want you to look to the left. So people who think SOXL is going to tank and this is going to go up. Look at the open interest at $60, significantly higher, 61 higher. Look at the prices. And some even think it's going to go to 65. Yes, that's about 30% jump from where it is today. Some people think it's even going to 70. This is a 40% jump in 1 week and expiring this week. If this does not happen, this person is going to lose a decent amount of money. Oh, and even worse, 80 is the highest it goes this week. Look, 682 contracts, open interest. People who bought SOXS call option thinking it's going to go up. This is ridiculous. So looking at websites like Wall Street Bets there's a website as well as I forget the app name, but they're looking at X platform and looking at open interest. You realize the sentiment has shifted, that people expect the semiconductor stocks to tank and SOXS to do incredibly well. And remember, during .com, companies like Sienna, Lucent, they went bankrupt, they overbuilt. Now you see indications that XAI overbuilt, so they're renting out their excess capacity. Facebook or Meta is also doing the same thing. So I think we're very close for this whole thing to collapse, just like .com. But before you make any investment decision, I want you to go talk to people. I want you to do your own research and decide for yourself whether this actually makes sense or not. And again, my bet, is actually a very small percentage of my portfolio, because of course all my money is in predominantly in ETFs, and I have 40% in cash. That's how much money that I'm holding in cash. So do your due diligence and decide for yourself whether this is something that you want to consider in your portfolio. And if you look at my previous video, I show you how to get more SOXS shares for free so that you're not pouring more money into that particular investment. So if you're interested in that, please look at the video prior to this. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. And by the way, if you're interested in learning about all this, I want you to go get a book called Mastering the Market Cycle. This actually talks about how the cycle works, how something that has gone up, it will eventually come down, how people who are building equipments or material things, just like Lucent, just like Cisco, everything is going to collapse. And people who are building things like software, they will eventually pop. So I'm waiting for IGV to eventually come down so that I can scoop them up. But until then, this is going to be my best bet. I will put this in my link so that you'll be able to check it out. It's one of the most popular books that you'll be able to get it from a library. But if you want to get a personal copy, I read this from time to time, especially when I'm on a long flight. It's just fascinating. So I want you to get a hold of a copy if you can. And thanks for watching.